Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Unravel Collective. My name is Yvonne and I love to unravel the human condition to reveal the multidimensional self. I offer channeled guidance and I mostly work with the 9th Dimension Arcturian Council. Today, they offer us guidance in the energy of surrender and how this will serve us to lead in the evolution and revolution of the planet. Before I get started, I'd like to invite you to the Frequency Center's first annual fundraiser. And for those of you who don't know, the Frequency Center is a nonprofit created by myself and my partner Ramona Reed, and it is an intentional meditation, healing, and retreat center that we are building in Abiquiu, New Mexico. This is going to be a beautiful, precious, powerful destination for anyone who wants to come and get away and be in community gathering to create heart cohesion, everything that the Arcturians are talking about for 2022. The power of our heart, the power of alignment of our mind with elevated emotion. Much of this is inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza, so if you don't know his work, please go check him out. And what we will be creating there is the frequency of love, the frequency of connection, and through this frequency creating healing internally and externally in our environment, in our community, and on our planet. So we welcome everyone to Abiquiu once it is built, but first we have a fundraiser to help us with phase 1 of the building and breaking ground. So please join us here in Nashville for our first fundraiser, which will be February 21st, 2022, where you will be provided dinner by Chef Sean Brock and be entertained with the musical performances of Brittany Howard, Ruby Amanfu, Lee Nash of Sixpence None the Richer, Langhorne Slim, and Annie Mosier. So it's going to be a really fun night. Please come learn more about the Frequency Center and please just come have a great time with us. And if you don't live here, just come to Nashville. It'll be a good time. Okay, so let's get started with yesterday's transmission that I channeled from the Arcturians. Surrender, deep surrender. This is a time now for surrender. Now, what do we mean by this? We've all been challenged recently with the activity going on around the world, and our hearts have been on a type of roller coaster ride. And we're feeling the whiplash and confusion, but also a sense of deepening into ourselves, the strength that we carry within ourselves, as well as the weakness we carry within ourselves. We've had the opportunity to recognize where it is we need support, where it is we need to reevaluate how we communicate in the world, reevaluate our expression in the world. We've had the opportunity to make massive changes to the way we operate in the world. We've had the opportunity to look at the narrative we tell ourselves, the story we uphold that keeps us in a certain place or a certain box or idea of who we are, who our neighbors are, who our community is. And we've had the opportunity to distinguish for ourselves what is true and what is no longer a truth we want to feed or uphold. And now that we've had the opportunity to look at all of these things, we hold them in the palm of our hands, close to our heart, for the opportunity to surrender. Like a small child does in the arms of their mama. Surrender into safety, surrender into peace, surrender as if you were floating in the comforting waves of a river, with the sun shining above you, allowing this flow to take you into a new beginning. Surrender into a new creation in which forceful effort is not what is needed in order to create. Quite the opposite. It is the surrender of the self, surrender of the ego, surrender of the determination to win, to be better, to be on top, surrender of competition and comparison. Each one of you carries a very unique contribution within you. And the expression of this contribution doesn't take effort when you surrender yourself to the flow of the seed that is planted within you. It is a precious seed, and as you surrender, the seed begins to reveal itself more and more to you. And the actions that result from this surrender will become quite clear to you. And it will not feel forced, and it will not feel hard, and it will not feel insecure. There will be no lack around the actions that you feel drawn to take, because surrender brings forth peace in knowing that the steps you make will be for the highest good of all, not just for yourself. There's no longer just a self-interest in the actions you take, but rather, how does this contribute to my community? How does my expression contribute to the world? Is this a truth that transforms others to look deeper within themselves? Or is this a truth that only benefits me in this moment? For when it is a very specific benefit in one moment in time, these types of self-interest fade quite quickly. And then in the next moment, it is time again to compete, to compare, to do, to be something that requires effort all over again for another moment of self-interest and benefit. And this cycle will continue. An unfulfilling cycle it is. This type of energy will no longer interest most of you. And so, dear ones, we say step into surrender. Here is where you will now find the new beginning of how we will operate on this planet as we move into a greater understanding of the powers we hold within ourselves and how to use these gifts to create a world where the interest of all is of our highest concern. We want to acknowledge you for the work you've done. It hasn't been easy, but you are closer and closer to this grand transformation on the planet, and we want to thank you for the hard work, the courageous work that you continue to do. So please continue to love one another and hold one another in this space of transformation. The ups and downs of transformation are challenging, and yet you continue to step forward. So remember that each of you are changing and altering yourselves in a manner that is quite honorable. And we want to say now, we honor you and the work you are doing. We honor you and the evolution and revolution that you are leading on the earth plane. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that you are inspired by today's transmission from the Arcturians and that you have received a breath of inspiration to walk into the world with your gifts, to walk into the world surrendering any type of old narratives, old stories about what we are, who we are, what we can do, what we can't do, this type of stuff. You know, it's time to step into an imaginative state of what we can create, and to do that by being heart-led and to being in our heart space and to being true to what is good for everyone, not just our self-interest. We are the agents of conscious evolution. You and me. If you are here and you have made it to the end of this video, you are an agent of conscious evolution. So thank you, and keep stepping into the world courageously. Keep moving forward with your ideas and your expansiveness and your creativity. Stay there, and hopefully soon we will see this grand transformation the Arcturians keep speaking of. I see it on small scale. I definitely see it within the people around me, and I see it in my clients, and their hearts are really opening and expanding and exploding. And I do see personally small transformation happening. So I can't wait to see the planet as a whole and the collective as a whole transform. That is a day that I think is the reason I am here. Maybe it's the reason we're all here. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have a great day. I love you all so much. Thank you and bye.